I used to, and I'm gonna say used to for a reason. I used to buy a lot of different lingerie.
Is it just more like timing for you? Like there's just times where you would rather just be by yourself or be doing something by yourself?
Yeah.
I believe in you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me, yeah. I believe in you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me, yeah. Let's stay here for a lifetime underneath the moonlight. 'Cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it grow?
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome to another episode in the series Get Uncomfortable with the Barthols. Today's topic will be keeping the sparks flying, and by that we mean in your relationship. You know, we have three main talking points today, which we will be sharing with you here pretty soon.
Yeah, but before we do get into it, I wanted to say thank you guys for your support on the last Get Uncomfortable. It's been amazing. You guys' support for this series has been something else, and I just want to say thank you again for being the best part of this channel.
Yeah, thank you guys.
But as for the talking points, first and foremost, we want to get onto the subject of how important it is to keep dating your spouse. That one, it's pretty important, and we'll get into that one here in a minute. And then next up, we want to talk about shared interests versus alone time. And then finally, what are some ways that we've kept the flame on, in between us?
Yeah.
So, as for that first question, babe,
Yeah.
how important do you think it is to keep dating your spouse? And what I mean, how important get into detail with it. Like, of course it's important, sure.
Okay.
But, what do you mean, keep dating your spouse?
Keep doing the things. Like when we first met, those little things that trigger the butterflies, like making you want to see that person the next day, talking to that person. Sometimes it's the inexpensive stuff. It's the little things, like keep doing those little things, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it goes beyond the little things. There's something to be said for when you do something that I can tell took a measure of effort.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell when you went out of your way to check to see if I was gonna like something.
Yeah.
When you've done things that just absolutely blow me away, I can tell because I can see the effort. I can see that you tried, and even sometimes when you try and miss,
Turned out like how I wanted it. Yeah.
There's been a cake or two.
Then I try to decorate.
No,
When?
talking about the cake or two.
I can't hear it.
The cake or two that burnt on the outside.
Burnt?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those weren't cake, man. Those were what's it called? I was trying to make Jamaican pudding.
Oh yeah.
It's the pudding. I was using the wrong potatoes. Do you remember? It was the white potatoes that I need. Yeah, that they burn on the outside. I have to cut it off, and inside was still wet. It was the Jamaican potato pudding.
No, there were those cakes that turned out dry, not burnt.
Oh, dry.
It was the cakes that were dry and basically inedible.
That was the oven's fault. The temperature was too high.
Okay, hey, the temperature. I'm gonna be honest, babe. The temperature of the oven can only go as high as you turn.
I know.
And they can only sit in the oven as long as you let them.
You're right.
but
yeah.
Sorry. But as for that, even when that happens, or the times when I've gone to a big effort, and you've not been the happiest with it.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel good that I put in the effort, even if I missed the mark?
Yeah.
does it make you feel good that I put in the effort?
Yes, it does. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's like okay, so say for example, you know, like growing up, like for me, like my parents, if I fried an egg at a young age, and it might not be good, but my mom sees it and she's like so proud that I made it. It's like the same thing, like you might miss the mark of what you're trying to do.
The chicken.
Yeah, I remember the chicken, but it was such a sweet gesture, and I see the effort, you know, in wanting to make dinner before I get home because I was working late. You know, I see all that effort, and even though it didn't turn out as we wanted to, it was still. I think the effort is really behind everything. It's really the effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to keeping on dating, one of the biggest things that we've found, I think we can agree, is that ultimately when it comes right down to it, it's putting that effort in for your spouse.
Yes.
Yeah, that feels pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
As for the next talking point, talking about shared interest versus alone time, and
in relationship too.
Well, yes. Specifically, what I mean by this is how important is it to, like, for instance, create a common interest or create an opportunity to spend time together versus allowing each other to go do their thing.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Sherry's tried playing a couple of video games here and there with me. She's tried doing things on the computer.
Yeah.
Definitely a talented editor, but anything outside of that can be a struggle.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say anything outside of that, you know, but like when it comes to your interest.
Well, no, I'm talking about like deep in the technology.
Oh, deep tech stuff,
like
yeah.
when I have to like break down what the what the browser's doing and why stuff is then missing.
Oh yeah, deep tech stuff is stuff, you know.
Yeah, but on the other hand, even though I can do that, you give me the time to pursue that, to get better at that.
Yeah.
Because there is time where we can share that with each other. We absolutely can. But on the other hand, if for instance you were to inject yourself into every moment that I'm on my computer, like playing my game or in a coding boot camp or anything that I'm doing, it's going to drastically slow down my progress in whatever I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, I would love spending that time with you.
Yeah.
But
not every single minute.
There's a time and a place for that. For instance, this is actually where I was mentioning to you earlier. I wanted to touch on this. This is where I had my big question for you.
Yeah.
And that is, what are some things? Seriously, what are some things that you would rather me stay out of? Like I mentioned specifically the harder games and the coding boot camp for me.
Yeah.
What's something for you?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything that hard and complex. I mean,
is it just more like timing for you? Like there's just times where you would rather just be by yourself or be doing something by yourself?
Yeah, you know.
It's not the thing, it's the timing.
I would say that because I love cooking, and don't get me wrong, and I love making you meals and serving you and all that stuff, but there are some times when I would much rather you be in there with me, like cooking together. You don't have to do everything down to the T, and in those moments I do appreciate it a lot. You know, I don't really have anything that I would say I would rather go do by myself, and it's probably sad.
Well, no, not necessarily. You're pretty, like, simple is a perfect description.
Yeah.
Because you're a very, very simple woman.
Yeah.
When it comes right down to it, and I don't mean simple in the brain.
Oh, I know that.
Simple in what you want and need. Like, you love making content for viewers out there.
Yeah.
You like being pretty. You like having a clean house.
Yeah.
You like being
Oh,
clean.
that one I would rather do by myself.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Cleaning,
I
cleaning the
I
house.
would rather clean by myself. That's my jam time. That's when I turn my music up and I switch the couches and everything in this house, piece of furniture to myself how I want it.
I gave up
That's-
3 years ago trying to keep up with you in the furniture. If you have moved everything into a massive pile and you need me to help you move it, that's when I show up. Other than that, I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna be in another room. You let me know
Yeah.
if you need help. Move the things. I'll try not to trip over them tonight when I stumble through there.
Yeah, that's one thing I would rather much do by myself. Yeah.
But
Everything else, and just let me just clarify for our like supporters, I'm not saying I'm clingy that, oh, if everything I'm going to the store has to be there. For me, I would much rather I have more fun when he's with me doing these little things. But if he said, you know what, I'm gonna hop on the game, I'll be like, okay, then I'll run to the store and be back. You know, I'll do whatever I have to do if he can't be there. So I do like doing those little things too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, and at the same time, I think it's important. I think
Yeah.
it's important while there is that, you know, hey, I'm going to the store. You want to come with me? I think it'd be way more fun. Don't get me wrong. I'd much rather you come to the store with me. I'd much
Me?
rather.
Yeah.
I'd much rather you come. Much rather go to the store with you. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But even so, it's important to have that time
Yeah.
to be you by yourself, to do your thing.
Mhm.
Like, it's important, I think, as well for me.
Yeah.
There's a time where I can just focus on something for me, like have my time, and not have to worry about
Yeah.
anything else. And in that, here's another thing I wanted to point. This was
Yeah.
another point that I had from earlier.
Mhm.
In those moments where you're allowing me to be me, to just do my thing by myself,
Yeah. What am I doing?
well, there's a statement.
Mhm.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
Even in that short absence,
Makes me misses you.
you're allowing me from the other side of the house to crave your presence.
Yes.
And that's why I get up and come give you kisses. That's why I get up and come give you a hug.
Yeah.
Or that sort of thing. That's why I get up, because you're allowing me time to crave you.
Yeah.
If you're just here all the time, there's gonna get to a point where I
That's
sit here
true.
with my foot like, please
Just
get away
get
from me, lady. But on the other hand, if I can sit in the room by myself,
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn around and miss my wife, even though she's not 20 feet away.
Yeah. And I think that's the feeling I get because you work from home and I go out every day. It's like even when the day's miserable and sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, and I come home, even when I come home with a miserable face, because let me tell you something, guys. I don't always come home with the best face, like, oh, I get to see my husband now. It's just like that anger and frustration from work, it's like it traveled with me in the car, and when I got home, it's like the same, and it takes a minute to like wear off me and like let me go so I can go be great, you know, or some feeling. Sometimes I don't
Go
remember.
be great.
Yeah. Like it's true. It's like that work vibe, or depending on how my day's feeling. And I'm someone that travel with the lingering feeling, which is not good. But like I can feel a certain way today, and I still wake up tomorrow and the other day and still feel that way because I don't choose to let go of it.
Because you think about something that happened and it immediately puts you in there and you don't compartmentalize well.
Yeah.
You didn't, I should say, because you are so much better at that now.
Yeah.
You like, even in the past couple of months, you have worked so hard on that. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing it.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to, I think, have the outside looking in, like you're doing well. You've been growing a lot lately, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And see, that's another thing about this series, y'all. This series is just as much for us as it
Yeah.
is for you.
It is.
Because it's a whole lot easier to have a rough conversation when you're being recorded.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Sometimes it's like you will see my head over in this direction because sometimes it's so hard to remember that, you know, we're being recorded because like I'm just having like it's just like any other conversation, like I would say, any hard deep conversation. Yeah.
But then you always end up with, we always keep in the back of our mind that we are being recorded.
Yeah.
That's why we avoid saying things that we regret. I think it helps build on our conflict
Yeah.
resolution skills. So thank y'all for providing that opportunity for us. But as for the last one that we're going to touch on today, that's some ways that we keep the flame on. Like we've been kind of dropping little things here and there. Pardon us. We do live in an apartment, so every time the outside door opens, our door shakes a little.
Yeah.
But as for us keeping the flame on, what's a way that you? I'll break it down into two questions. We'll each answer this, okay?
Yeah.
What are some ways that you try, that you work on keeping the flame on from your side?
From my side.
And
okay.
then number two, this is the second question. What are some things that I do that keep fireworks going for you?
Okay. That's well, it's not a hard question, but like sometimes you never stop to think about the things.
Absolutely. You can think about it all you want. That's why we have this video format.
Okay. So I think I have a couple off the top of my head which I try to keep the sparks in a relationship. And the first one, I used to, and I'm gonna say used to for a reason. I used to buy a lot of different lingerie. I used to buy a lot.
Yeah.
Until you let me know that you're more of a like rather nothing kind of, like.
And it's not even necessarily nothing too. Like
It's just like your body as it is.
That, and there are a couple of very specific things.
Yes.
But lingerie is like, yeah, it's cute.
It's cute.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you look great in it, but
yeah, I haven't bought one in a long time, just because he has different tastes in things that he likes. So the things that he likes, I try to wear those things, and can't say them on camera what those things are.
I mean, sure you can.
Yeah, but I don't want to give people idea of what I might look based on those descriptions, like in their head. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I'm not saying.
Said, it's none of y'all's business to be entirely frank. No,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that's one of those things. Just as blunt as I am with my wife. That's how it is here. I get uncomfortable. It's none of y'all's business what my wife looks like.
Yeah, I know.
But it's moving on. Like, for instance, that's just one. Like you fundamentally changed what you thought would be like
one of the ways to like
would be like seductive attire. You fundamentally changed what you thought that was to fit my tastes. And you actively work with those tastes to keep me interested.
And over time I do like those appearances, and those things. So that's one. The second thing that I try to do to keep the spark, I love mini dates, mini brunch, date nights, at home dinner, everything in that area.
So you actively plan
those
outings.
stuff, yes, to keep the sparks, like not just at home all the time. At home, remember I used to do like at home date nights and little surprises and stuff like that. Like those are ways that I personally try to keep the sparks. The moon isn't, how it is yet? It's 7:57.
No, the moon just rose.
Yeah. So those are ways that I try to do.
I understand.
Keep the spark.
But then in that case, what are some things that I do?
Yeah.
That you like?
That keep the sparks? I like when you leave me these little notes. Like they're like
really?
Yeah, I really like
the notes are something that sticks out for you.
Yeah, it is. Like it's like I wake up sometimes. I wake up so tired and frustrated to go to work, but then I saw this little note that said, "Hey, I packed you lunch," or "Take this," or I was thinking about you last night, and you used to leave me like voice notes on my phone when I'm sleeping. Like those are the things like they really sticks out.
Really?
Yeah.
How neat. I just
then I
thought
show
that
everybody at work when I go and be like, "Your husband doesn't, don't they?" Not really like that, but it's like the cutest thing. Like I like it a lot.
Oh, I,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that had actually made a impact. I thought it
On
was just
the
something that I was doing.
oh, that does.
Like, I didn't even know whether or not you remembered the midnight voice notes, and they
Oh,
weren't even
I
midnight. They were
do.
2 a.m. voice notes.
And I used to wake up in the morning and be like, "Good morning, beautiful. I know you're sleeping, but I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you." It's like I can recite a lot of them out of my head because I listen to them over and over.
You're a goofy.
But you're a goofball because you said we go. But you know what I forgot to mention out of the
Mm-hmm.
no, I didn't forget. It's in this one. So one of the things. It's a Sherrian.
I know.
Mm.
Okay.
It's gone. One other thing that I like that you do
Mm-hmm.
is this closeness that we build like for a while now with like when we shower together and like
Mm-hmm.
you know get close to each other and just have some little conversation, then washing my feet and I wash your feet, you know, like
Yeah, that's a big
it's
deal.
just so close. It's just like feel so close to you and stuff like that.
Well, and that's a commitment thing too.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times that I've heard, no, I don't need you to wash my feet, and it's like, no, this is something that we do now.
Yeah.
It is a regular act of service, and it's something that you gotta actively do.
Yeah,
But-
even though sometimes you don't really want to. Like,
No,
it's not
I
really
never want to
want
wash your feet. I hate feet. I don't want to touch your feet. I don't. But I want your feet to be clean.
Yeah.
Because your feet carry you around all day. So you know what? I'm gonna make sure they're clean.
Yeah.
But but regardless, I think just to kind of.
Oh, and I can't even go into this of everything else that you do. You take care of my nails. You file my nails. You used to take care of my hair.
Don't be bragging.
I'm not braggy. You said they should tell you the
I
little
know,
things
I
that
know,
keep the sparks.
But we don't gotta get into the whole thing because I gotta say my
Oh,
thing. So
you're
we've
right.
already got a 27-minute video.
Okay, fit yours.
You're amazing. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, you know words of affirmation is my love language. So
Yeah.
hearing that is really good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realize those little things that I was doing. I just do them to be goofy. Honestly, I just do them because I think they'll make you smile or I think they'll make you laugh. Like I think of something and I think, hey, this would make Sherry laugh, or like I'll find a meme and the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, Sherry would love this, and that's. I had never thought of that as something that I was doing to keep the spark, keep the sparks flying. But I mean, I guess in a way it is because it's super selfish the reason that I do it, and
Why?
Because
Why is
I
it
want-
selfish?
because I want you to be thinking about me.
You want me to be thinking about me, so that's why you leave me the little notes.
Or I
voice
send
notes,
you memes or things like that throughout the day.
I
It's totally selfish, but it's because I want to have a spot in your mind.
I'm always
And it's
thinking about
goofy.
you. It's so weird
Yeah.
how that works.
But it's goofy and it's dumb. But that's completely honest. But
Not dumb.
But
Yeah, what are your?
but some things that I like actively do to try to keep the sparks going is like I'll learn Jamaican things, or I'll learn Jamaican songs, or
Yeah.
I'll learn pieces of
My culture.
pieces of you,
Yeah.
and make those a part of my life, my day.
Yeah.
And then like turn around and try to cook you something new, or introduce you to a whole new food.
Yeah.
For instance, what's the most recent random thing that I cooked that you fell in love with? French toast and hard dough bread. Well, French toast out of hard dough
I've
bread.
never had French toast, and maybe a lot of you guys wouldn't believe me. I've always seen it like at restaurants and stuff like that, but because I know it was made dipped in egg, I'm like, I don't want an eggy bread. It tastes nothing like that. It blew my mind. Like, I'm hooked on it right now.
French hard dough bread. Well,
Yeah,
French
French
toast out of hard dough bread specifically.
Yeah.
But stuff that you do is, for instance, you've actively started in the past like couple of years learning how to love me in my love language.
Yeah.
And you try to do that, and now you've taken those things that we've talked about and those lessons that we've gone over, and you've implemented them. I think ultimately what it comes down to for us, and if you take anything, any piece of advice, if I can give you even one piece of advice out of this, have a heart for service. And that's going to be the biggest way to keep the sparks flying. When I say have a heart for service, I'm not just talking like acts of service, this and that and the other. I'm talking have the heart to meet your partner where they are and serve them in whatever way they need.
Yeah, because sometimes you might want to serve in a way which the capacity of your partner is not up there or not in the mood for that serve. It's like you have to meet them halfway, and that's why we do so much little stuff. And sometimes we don't get to take you guys with us all the time,
because we also choose not to.
Yeah, sometimes we I don't mean get to. Sometimes we don't take you guys with us all the time because those moments are so surreal to us. Because I can tell you, a lot of people lose out on a lot of good moments in their life, especially when they put their life in front of social media, because everything now is for the camera and do this
for the content.
For the content, and like I don't.
You just gotta do it for the love, man.
And do it for the love, and do it for your marriage, because it makes no sense you portray this healthy marriage to social media, but then behind the scenes you're really struggling with it. I mean, everyone has their struggle, but I'm talking like real struggle.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So.
But it is starting to get dark. I don't know if y'all have noticed that as the video changes, the lighting in the home changed.
Oh, I did.
It has gotten darker and darker, but it's getting to the point where it's about to start making it really unpleasant for you guys in here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get off here. It's actually gonna be super cool to watch it in the editing, how it gets darker and darker.
Yeah.
But either way, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Start of this new week coming. I hope that you have a lot of good things coming your way, I should say, and doors that pretty much seems to be closed for you a long time. Maybe you open up and new opportunities, and you make use of those opportunities as well. Well, as always, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.